Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor. Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Visit manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
How is your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD Radio, 900 AM and 96.1 FM, WURD, Philadelphia. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on WURD Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L. O.
What's that?
What? It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello, hello, hello. Hello there, family, and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you enjoyed the voices of the civil rights movement. I hope you enjoy the programming. I know you enjoyed Solomon Jones. We all love Solomon. We all love him. But thank you. Thank you to those of you who are joining us here on Love and Life. Since we have a little time with you this evening, and we're happy to have that. So since we've got an abbreviated show this evening, I'm going to jump right in. But what I want to say though is that we're sending you all the love and hugs. That's each and every one of you that you can handle. Okay, I want you to know that before we get into anything. So today is Thursday, and on Thursdays, we have Thursdays with Dr. Z. Now, Dr. Z is Dr. Zenida Driver. That is about whom I speak. And she is the executive director for Sunrise Community of Pennsylvania. She's a lifelong student of human behavior and social interaction with over 15 years of experience as an accomplished trainer, professional speaker, and supervisor in the field of human services. And she is joining us as she usually does on Thursdays. So, family, I invite you to the conversation with Dr. Z. Well, hello there, Dr. Z. How are you? Oh, you're muted.
Hello, Carol. How are you?
I will not complain.
That's good. That's good.
I won't do it. I won't do it. Happy to be here. How about that? Happy to be able to spend some time with you. Happy to see you always. You know, happy to talk to you and be educated about some things.
Yes.
How have you been in the last week since we talked last?
Yes, I've been well. I can't complain. You know, it's transitioning into fall. I am not a fall person, but I'm embracing it. I'm a summer girl, but I am ready for the fall, I guess. How are you?
We don't have a choice, right? Can I please tell you that I did not realize autumn was beginning? Is this weekend or whatever today? Well, it could be today for all I know. But I did not realize. No, seriously, my spirit is still stuck in summer. It's still stuck in summer. There are so many beaches I have yet to.
It's over now, Carol. It's over now.
Oh my goodness. I do want to say hello to one of our family members. Hey there, Malcolm. Malcolm White is joining us, and he shares that he is watching and listening from West Mount Airy. Good evening to you too, and thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, so much. Malcolm, did you enjoy the Voices of the Civil Rights Movement? Did you enjoy the programming? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it? I'm curious to know. Curious to know. So as we, as I was saying to our family members, Dr. Z, I get carried away. I get so excited to spend time with everybody. We have an abbreviated amount of time tonight. So I want to jump right in.
Let's talk.
Okay. I know we're talking tonight about dependent personality disorder. What is that?
Yeah, so dependent personality disorder is a type of anxious personality. People with what we call DPD, dependent personality disorder, often feel helpless. They are submissive. They're incapable of making sound decisions on their own. They are individuals that they struggle to really think on their own. They struggle to really do day-to-day things on their own without the support of someone else. And so it's really what it says. It's a dependent personality. It's a person who depends on someone else to meet needs in their life, even as adults.
Oh, that sounds so sad. Is it typically with regard to a romantic relationship, or does it pertain to a familial relationship as well?
It can be either or. It can be either or. It can be within familiar relationships, and also it can show itself in regular relationships between two individuals coming together. A lot of times with individuals who do struggle with DPD, in the beginning, a lot of times it's that honeymoon phase, it's that excitement phase. So the DPD traits are not viewed in a negative way, but that over time, as that honeymoon stage begins to wear off and we begin to really know each other and we begin to really see each other for who they are, we begin to realize that this person is really clingy. This person has an over need from me or from someone else that feels somewhat abnormal. So again, in the beginning, it's all exciting, it's all love, but over time, it begins to feel uncomfortable.
Okay, so what I imagine there are several things from where this disorder can come, but can
Mhm.
you talk with us about some of those instances or experiences, or some places from which this can come?
Mhm. Just like with the several other mental health disorders that we've been talking about on Thursdays, this is one of those disorders that has little research around what exactly leads to it, right? But there
Okay.
are some factors that researchers have found that oftentimes say, okay, if an individual grew up with an overly criticized parent who criticized for everything that they did, that can
Okay.
lead to that. That narcissistic parent, maybe this person who had some level of childhood adverse experiences, could often lead to a person having a dependent personality. Why? Because early in my development, I wasn't able to think for myself. I was forced into situations beyond my control. If I had a narcissistic parent, I was required to do excessive things to meet
Mhm.
excessive needs that I didn't feel comfortable with doing, but had to. So now I grow up feeling this sense of lack of self worth, and I have to depend on someone else to help me think it through, to help me do the thing that I typically should be able to think about how to do on my own.
So how do you navigate this disorder if you're in a relationship with a person that has this disorder? How do you navigate it?
You really just have to have an honest conversation around what it is that you see. But
Okay.
really, if the individual that's struggling with it, first they have to identify this is what they're struggling with, number one.
Okay. Okay.
And so maybe that person that they're in relationship with shows them that. But then that person who has dependent personality disorder has to begin to do the work on themselves. They have to begin to
Mm.
dive deep into their life to realize, where is it that I learned that I had to depend on someone else? And that will require that person to probably visit some parts of their lives that were traumatic. They may
Mhm.
require them to go back in their mind to think about their childhood relationships or relationships in the past that may not have been the best. It requires them to probably sit with a therapist and really do that work, so that they can really connect the dots in their life as to why they are so dependent on someone else.
It sounds so it's so involuntary that
Mhm.
I'm trying to imagine someone trying to actually work through this. Oh
Yes.
my goodness. Family, listen, if you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We're talking because it's Thursday, and on Thursday, we have Thursdays with Dr. Z. Malcolm shares that he was listening and he was watching the programming that preceded, and he enjoyed it, and I'm so glad to read that. Melissa Gamble is checking in. Hi there, beautiful. She shares good evening sentiments with everyone. Miss Lily is also checking in. Hi there, beautiful. She shares good evening wishes to everyone as well, and to the entire Word family. And Miss Julie is checking in. Hi there, beautiful. She shares that she is feeling great. And she listened to the sounds and celebratory acknowledgement of our heroes and sheroes, and she enjoyed it very much. Mariah Powell is checking in, and she says hello, and she shares, this is so good. Learning a lot from you, Dr. Z. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. What I want to do right now is go to our phone lines because one of our family members is checking in on the phone. Hello, and thank you for calling.
Hi, Cal. Hi, Dr. Z. How you doing tonight? Hope both of
Hi,
y'all doing well.
Ron.
I enjoyed the history because I've lived through that. A lot of it I experienced. I was
Mm.
able to speak with John Lewis when I went to Selma, Alabama, and get the reaction that I was talking to them on the Edward Petty Bridge. So I got a lot of history that I certainly have engaged through the years. My question I want to ask
Ron,
is,
what was that like? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was
it
so
was
stuck.
just wonderful.
It was wonderful. I know it was. We're having just a slight technical issue. It's probably me interjecting. I'm so sorry, Ron. Okay, we're waiting for, there's a technical issue. Something's taking place right now. We're having some difficulty hearing Ron. Okay. Okay, well, I anticipate that Ron will call back because I'm definitely interested in knowing how that conversation with John Lewis was. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine. But family, for those of you who have just joined us, we're talking with Dr. Z, and we are talking about dependent personality disorder tonight. I know I have a ton of questions about this because it just, there's so much I want to know. But in the event that you too have questions, feel free to place them on our socials. Feel free to comment on our socials, or you can also give us a call. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. You can also call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. For those of our family members who were listening to the programming prior to the show, I'm definitely interested in knowing what you think. Did you enjoy it? I know you did. I know you did, but I just want to hear you say it. You know I do. You know I do. I believe we have Ron back on the line. Ron, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Cal.
Oh,
I was saying I have a lot of experience in the civil rights movement. I was very privileged to speak down in Selma, Alabama, and without talking them, we took buses from Pablo Plaza, and I went and I did a lot of things in my life in public speaking, and I have a very good knowledge on the history of our plight with the civil rights movement. I want to talk to you tonight, Doctor, about myself. I am extremely intuitive because I am. It has caused me a lot of problems. And what I mean by that, my recorder, like all Cal programs, all of them, every program she ever did, I can paraphrase what she talked about. I can't name all the guests, but I can give in depth of that. And because I am a very intuitive man, there's a gift that God has given me. I hear very well. I'm able to not judge, but interpret when people talk. When a person speaks to me, like when you speak to me on something, I remember that. And because of this gift, it has caused me a lot of problems, in particular with females. And the reason I say that is because, how can I say it without being negative? Because a lot of times, I say, because I am blessed, I pick up everything. And every word that someone says, ma'am, I interpret it not in my discretion. And when I speak with them, they become sort of, how can I say, shock or whatever. So is that a good thing to have the gift that I have like that, to record and hear when people talk and able to not question them and to record that? Because that's the key about learning. Learning is having an ear to hear, and that's very important, and to interpretation, not to judge. And because of it, as I said, once again, Doctor, would you say that's a gift that the Almighty God have given me to retain all type of information and through the years at the age that I am?
Oh, Dr. Z, you're muted.
I said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, yes. That's a phenomenal gift. A gift I wish I had. I don't always remember everything. And so I definitely feel like that is something that sets you apart and something that you use. And just even from your calls, I can just tell you're very attuned to the needs and the concerns of others. And so that is certainly a gift. And I commend you for using it in a positive way.
Oh, Ron, I think we're having some difficulty again.
Okay. All right. Well, anyhow.
There you are. There you are. I hear you now. I'm sorry.
It's because I meditate and I'm an extremely intuitive man. This lady I was dealing with one time, and I was speaking and all like that and talking, people just talking. And I asked the question to her, why is it that you care for me when you don't even know me as far as longevity is concerned? And usually, as I said, once again, ma'am, sometimes people are very uncomfortable because I say this to myself, not putting anybody into the average female, my experience, the average female holds the average man in contempt. I say that's a terrible word to say, is because they don't hear. And when you end that relationship, like I have been in some of them, and you bring things to their attention, it sort of becomes maybe not shocking, but they find me to be very very interesting at most. So I thank God for that. And because of it, it has made me a better human being. So I appreciate the words that you're giving, Doc. And I want to say this to you. Whenever you're doing speaking with someone, the power of words, I want you to ask them this. Use the word, I want you, the person, to think about this. Don't say what it is that you want them to think about right away. It prepares them to receive what it is that you want to share with them. So I enjoy your program. I mean, I enjoy you, Doctor, and I enjoy Carol, all your program, because knowledge is a wonderful thing. The lady that passed away yesterday, Carol?
Yes.
Her husband, Jay Harris, and I don't know if she was there. They paid honor to me at Temple University, and we're going to have a program because Charles Blockson written something for me, and I'm not bragging with me. And I had a chance to speak up there at the university, and you're going to be reading about it in reference to the story of the lost home, not the project, because the word project is not a negative. It is a positive. Like you take one project with your music, and you take one her project in healthcare. So my cup running forward, I enjoy y'all all the time. And I say to the listening audience and the females in particular, please communicate with that person who you're dealing with. And you can do that. And once they know that you are aware, not negative, then it will help your relationship. I experienced this. So I am Dr. Love. So both of y'all have a nice night. Thank you.
Ron, thank you. It is always a gift when Ron calls. Such a pleasure. Family, listen, it's time for us to take a break. But we have so much more to talk about. So stay with us because we will be right back.
Are you ready to party? The party is about to be on. Join us Friday, November 10th for WURD Radio's 20th anniversary celebration, an evening of Black excellence and elegance at the beautiful Fiddler Club in downtown Philadelphia. A cocktail reception gets us started at 6 p.m. Grab a bite, share a toast, or hang out with your favorite WURD host. And in recognition of this milestone birthday, we're bringing together the owners of the nation's 3 remaining Black talk radio stations, Melody Span Cooper of WVON Chicago, Tavis Smiley of KBLA Los Angeles, and WURD's own CEO Sarah Lomax, exploring the future of Black independent-owned media. We'll have a special live performance with dynamic songstress Carol Riddick, and the house will be rocking with legendary DJ Gary O, spinning music from old school to today. To get your tickets, visit wordradio.com/20th anniversary. And remember, membership has its privileges. For WURD members can still continue to purchase tickets at a discounted rate. Your membership will be verified after purchase. Our 20th anniversary celebration is brought to you by Comcast, Bank of America, United Way, Keystone First, Wells Fargo, United Healthcare, and Mainline Health.
We gon' celebrate and have a good time.
Kimmel Cultural Campus invites you to kick off our season with Philadelphia Fall Arts Fest, free and open to the public on September 23rd. Join us and connect with over 50 art organizations across the region with fun activities, ticket giveaways, and festival-style performances, culminating with your Philadelphia Orchestra. Plus, you'll score $25 tickets to over 150 season performances. Philadelphia Fall Arts Fest on September 23rd. More information is available at kimmelculturalcampus.org.
Did you hear the word around the community? Check out Jefferson Health Plan show live from WURD on 96.1 FM and 900 AM every fourth Sunday of the month from 5 p.m. until 6 p.m. Our plan names are changing, but our commitment remains the same. Health Partners Plans is now Jefferson Health Plans. Be sure to tune in to hear more about our upcoming community events and info to help improve your health and well-being. To learn more about Jefferson Health Plans, visit jeffersonhealthplans.com.
This Saturday's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $725 million. $725 million! So don't forget to play at your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Operation Hug the Block. 77 nights on the most violence-impacted blocks in Philadelphia. A nightly series of Peace Patrol vigils is happening right now from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. on blocks with 10 or more shootings since 2015. The operation will run until November 7th, Election Day. Hug the Block is spearheaded by Jamal Johnson of Stop Killing Us and Philly Troops. To see if you live on or near one of Philly's most violence-impacted blocks, go to phillytroops.com and click on Operation Hug the Block.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. Before the break, we spoke with Ron. I'm always amazed with information that Ron shares with us. Just always, always. But what I want to do right now is go back to our phone lines, and then we're going to jump over to our socials to see who's checking in. So, family, thank you for calling. How are you today?
Good evening. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
Good. So I'm driving and I'm struggling with this conversation because, most men, except for men, don't find out the crazy until after they done put the ring on the hand. So this be prenup, because if the bipolarism and the schizophrenia comes in after you married her, then that's even a bigger problem, because then the fighting is constant, and a lot of us don't see this because we're so successful in what we do, from the cars we buy to the airplane trips we take to handle our business throughout the country, that we don't see that, okay, she's angry that we're not spending enough time with her. But she knew I was running when I was working when she met me. And so this description here is fair, but I also think it's unfair because, how do we present this? Unless we got sisters who'd be like, yo, you don't want to deal with her. I can see she bipolar, or let me go out with her and find out what kind of person she is. I think it's dangerous, and I think we should have like a prenup inside of these situations right here, because sometimes it's always the prettiest one. Sometimes it's always the smartest one. Sometimes it's always the most accomplished one that really can keep a relationship because of these. And that's just from what I see, being successful as a young man. So
this is the experience you've had?
I've not had these experiences. I don't. I got a certain structure about myself or who I would want to deal with. But what I'm asking is, if I was your brother and you was my sister, how would I identify, and what should I do if you identify that this chick is crazy, or this chick shouldn't be with you, or she has all the attributes that we want in someone, whether it's Hampton or Howard, graduate, all the degrees, but something that we can't put our finger on. And I'm saying, if I was your brother and you was my sister, what would be the trigger that I would look for, and how would I get out before I get in? And I'll hang up and I'll listen while I'm driving.
You don't have to do so. We can converse about this.
Because once again, you my sister, so you like, yo.
Right. I want what's best for you. Right.
Exactly. I don't want to have no baby by her. I don't want to get, but she could be in it for the baby and the money, and I could be miserable the rest of my life, and you my sister. So how would you talk to me? Like, how would you talk to your big brother?
Let me tell you, that's a whole lot to unpack. Dr. Z.
Definitely. That is a lot to unpack. I mean, that is a phenomenal conversation. Let's start there.
It is.
He hit a lot of key points that are all different points within his question and his comment. And I think it goes to a conversation you had a while back, Carol, around, pre-engagement counseling, engagement counseling, right? That a lot of times people jump into this relationship and they're in their honeymoon phase and they're really enjoying each other. And then from that phase, they go right into engagement. And now engagement, I'm engaged. I'm ready to plan a wedding. And you don't get a chance to really have those hard conversations. And so in relationships, whether we're talking about, I know he talked a lot about personality disorders and schizophrenia and bipolar and all of those things, but outside of that, we have to be willing to have conversations, honest conversations about
Right.
how a person thinks, scenarios like how would you handle this, and actually listen to understand and relate to the person, right? Because when we're in that honeymoon phase, we're enjoying each other, we're going out on
Yeah,
dates,
Right.
we are
listen,
not paying
but
attention to the
but do you know what?
Now you see,
what
you see
that's
what
what I was going to
said?
say. That's what I was going to
Men
say.
don't do that because men put the work in what you need. I'm a what you need guy. I'm not.
Not,
I don't
oh,
want to talk about your emotional state with your girlfriend because somebody offended you or something's going on with her. I'm like, what you need? Is everything okay? Is all our bills paid? Has the housekeeper been paid? Is all those things okay? Then why do I have to listen to stuff that I'm not interested in?
Because if we don't listen to those things, we find ourselves in relationships now that, using your words, now this woman is quote unquote crazy. Well, there in most cases, the signs that we see once we connect in marriage were there before we said I do. But a lot of times we're so caught up in the glitz and glamour of dating in the moment and showing up for our partner in a way that they need to show them that I can be there for them, that we miss the opportunity to pay attention to the signs. And so I always tell people, step back. Look at how they handle it. Look at how their family handles it. Look at if they have a relationship with their mother and their father. Pay attention. Keep your eyes wide open all the time because the signs are there, and don't ignore them. Have a conversation about it.
You know, Prince, I want to say to you too, because you asked me that. You asked me if I was your. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you?
Now, this is at my lounge when we get around certain guys. There's certain power guys there, and there's certain guys that are in powerful marriages. And the guys whose wives make more money than them, who dictate what goes on, you know, they listen. But when they get around men, they not manly men. We don't respect them. Like we clown them because you know they henpick and they do what they say only because the purse is bigger. And she commands and she pays the mortgage and it's probably $5,000. And you know, and he doesn't make as much to pay the mortgage, but they're married. They got children. But we don't really give them the baton. We never give them the baton. We make them go get there and stuff like that because they haven't earned it, and we don't feel that.
Prince, you are killing me.
I want you to take a poll amongst men. Men get the guys who are subservient in that way to their wives, and we clown them. And the other guys, we expect our wife to, you know, not call us while we out, and we expect that we get home when we get home. But these guys,
okay.
This
oh, Lord have mercy. Look at me. I can't keep my mouth shut. First of all, I didn't even. Okay, I have so much to say about the first scenario you presented because I was actually. Let me get to that one first. So you asked me if I was your sister, what would I say to you if you saw this woman, you know? And I said, okay, no. I would say to you, that's a negative. I would say that.
Okay.
That's me. That is a negative. But speaking from a person who was in that position, I was in a relationship. It was a whirlwind romance. It was wonderful. It was, you know, we went through counseling and everything. And I saw crazy, but I told myself it was something else because I was enjoying the relationship. No, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm being honest with you. I'm being real with you. And that's what happened in this. I saw what I wanted to see. I saw the crazy. I recognized it as crazy, but I said, oh, he's just doing that because blah, 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 blah. Whatever our situation was. But no, I saw it for what I wanted to see it as and not for what it truly was. So when Dr. Z was talking about being honest with yourself, I wasn't being honest with myself until I had to do so. Until the crazy was just too crazy, and you know, now I have to go. Now I have to go. But to address the second situation,
did you leave because when you say crazy was too crazy, was because obviously that whirlwind, in order to have it and in order for it to be effective, you both had to like each other a whole lot.
Oh, we did. No, it was separate and apart from the romance. Like the crazy was, I mean, crazy is crazy. Listen, it's not specific to. It wasn't specific to him courting me. It wasn't that. It was it was crazy. But let me say,
Because if you say you're a man of the streets, right, then everywhere you go, you need to make sure that that environment is comfortable and safe for you and for your lady. So he could be paranoid in that state, and that's a form of crazy. Because in Philadelphia today, if I take you to a nice restaurant, you know, if I don't sit with my back towards the window, if I make sure that we pick a certain table, and that could, you know, that could be a certain part of crazy, but that's only because in order for him to make you safe, he has to feel safe.
Now, I wouldn't consider that crazy. I'd consider that him protecting me. But let me address something else you said when you were talking about this scenario with these men. How you and your friends treat your other friends who you said are submissive to their wives, who make less money than their wives. That's I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. I don't. Now, I'm a person. It's not important to me how much my man makes. If I had a man, I don't have one right now, but it's not important to me how much my man would make. That's not important to me. I mean, I get that that's important to some people, but just because you make more money than the woman doesn't make you more of a man. It doesn't make you more masculine. It doesn't make you more intelligent. It doesn't make you any better than the other individual. This is my own opinion. Okay, this is my own opinion. So, but you're saying you said so. It's about respect. It's about mutual respect for one another. Now, this is me. This is my preference. What I prefer. It's about mutual respect. It's about seeing the other individual as a human being. It's about getting to know that human being, that person, and you two talking about what your life together will be. But you saying, I just tell my lady I get there when I get there. Like, sir, what?
No, it's not. I'm telling you this, but it's not. It's in the form of, don't worry about me. I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. So you don't have to call me and worry about me because I'm good. But the problem when you make more than him is that when there's a decision to be made, you guys are out on vacation in Hawaii, and he has a prepaid card for only $250, and you might have an American Express card. But the ability for him to be able to pay for the room, you already know he doesn't come with that ability, and then he knows he doesn't come with that ability. So do you give him your card to pay for the room?
I do not.
And try to encourage him, or do you just pay for the room regardless of how he feels?
I pay for the room. Why would it be that deep? See that?
Can I jump in, Carol?
Yes, please do. Go right ahead.
Okay. So what I'm hearing in this conversation is everyone has different things that they value. Everyone has different things that are important to them. And so the conversation is that it started off with is how do we identify these things up front? So if finances is a thing in my relationship, I need to have a conversation with my partner around what does finances look like? What are those expectations? If children is a thing within my relationship, I need to have those conversations. But what's unfortunate is that most people don't acknowledge what's important to them in the dating phase. And then it comes out in the marriage phase. It comes out when they are now connected and they have children together. So one of the things that couples have to do is that I have to figure out what are my hot button topics, right? Or what are those things that are absolutes in my life? And I need to know how this person will show up in my life around these topics and the way that they interpret and they make meaning of finances, make meaning of parenting, make meaning of education, business, and credit cards, and all the things that the college friendship.
But they have to be honest with one another too, because I didn't have that luxury.
Right.
I didn't have that.
If we slow down in our dating phase, you'll get a chance to see it. Scenarios will come.
And that's what I said. See, I saw it. And I said, oh, he's just doing this because,
But we sometimes get blinded with the lens of love and the lens of affection and dating that we miss it. If we allow ourselves to be still and just pay attention, watch how they move, watch how they think, watch how they interact in the world around pivotal topics that are relevant to me, because what may be relevant to me may not be relevant to you, i.e. the conversation now and around coming in early or not coming in early. That may not be relevant, right? In someone
Prince, you
else's
are a mess.
relationship. But if I know that this is a hot button topic for me, I'm going to have that conversation with my partner as we begin to get more serious over
Okay,
time.
family, wait, I've got to interrupt all of us for one moment. Prince, just hold that thought. Hold that thought. We've got to take just a short commercial break, but heavens to Murgatroyd, y'all. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Stay right there because we will be right back.
Get ready for EcoFest, a celebration of environmental justice in our city. As WURD marks its 2 decades on the airwaves, we're not just reminiscing about the past, we're blazing a trail for the future. Held at One Art Community Center on October 9th, EcoFest will be centered around creating Black green futures. Join us for captivating panel discussions, electrifying musical performances, educational workshops, and a diverse lineup of vendors offering everything you need for a sustainable lifestyle. Make sure you tune into EcoWord every Friday at 10 a.m. hosted by POC for all the exciting event details you won't want to miss. We can't wait to see everyone at One Art Community Center on October 9th for EcoFest. Brought to you by the Alliance for Watershed Education, Keystone First, the Energy Co-op, and the Fittler Club. Stay tuned and stay inspired only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Off's Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Tune in this Saturday from 5 to 6 p.m. for the Islam Today show with a perspective on moral guidance and Islamic principles and values.
What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day, or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90, or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership, or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for?
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Family, welcome back. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Prince, let me tell you something. You got me going over here. You got me going with these scenarios, with these 1 million scenarios. But I love the conversation. I love the conversation. I'm looking at the time. And I do want to make sure that I address all of our family members who want to contribute to the conversation as well. So I do want to share this. Hold tight. I do want to share this. Ms. Julie shares that she's heard it said that recidivism carries a weight of dependency. Pastor Black, hi there, Pastor Black, Pastor Daniel Black of Gospel Temple Baptist Church, right there in South Philly. He is joining us and he's sending a good evening wish to everybody. Antoinette is sharing that she loves this topic. How about a person that is codependent and always needy? Is there a way to get their attention? Antoinette, we're going to come back to that. I'm going to put a pin in that because that's where we started. But since we've gone down another road, we've got to get to these conversations. Chris Abbott is checking in. Hi there, Chris. Frey is checking in as well. So is Alfred Evans. He's checking in. Michael Upshaw is checking in. Cheryl Hicks Lucas is checking in. I love this. I love this, family. So glad to have you all with us. And James Darrell Robinson. Hello there, Bishop. Shares that sometimes people are unbalanced and we don't always interpret people correctly. You must be equipped to diagnose people's issues. I appreciate that. Heather Wilson. Hey there, Heather. Hey, beautiful. She's sharing. I'm loving this topic. And yes, I've been there. I've seen the signs, but I've blown them off. I get that. Well, you and I, we did the same thing. We did the same thing. I didn't see the signs for what they were. I did the same thing. So, Prince, I want to say thank you so much for getting us all going. Okay. Thank you so much for that. But what I have to do, because we have some other family members waiting to join the conversation, so I have to take our next caller. But I'm so sorry because I need to have you come back and talk with us some more because heavens to Murgatroyd. But I hope that that we at least did address some of what you were what you talked about. But I think there's so much more there to unpack. There's so much more there to unpack. So in the meantime, I want to make sure I get to our other family members. So I do believe we have a family member on line one. If you are still there, hello.
No, I'm still here.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Carol.
Yes. How are you today?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I was line one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Prince had me wanting to get to the lounge real quick to straighten out some stuff.
Prince had everybody going. Everybody going.
Because
You
you
hear
know
that,
what?
Prince?
If a woman invests in a man and has his child, to me, he owes her a lot. That investment goes past nuptials and all that other stuff that they like to swing around. And I hope he's listening because we will be discussing this in person, eye to eye. Sooner or later, I think it's really important, though, if my brother was, and we've seen girls that my brother had that weren't appropriate for him. And clearly, I pulled the tail, but I wanted to say my cousin was seeing a man who my best friend was seeing. And I didn't realize it in the beginning. And the more that my cousin talked about him, I said, "What's his name?" And when she said his name, I almost fell out my chair. And we lost touch. And she had a big fight with her girlfriend. She thought it was somebody other than me who knew this other woman. And so a lot of times, some people are not mature enough to hear that they're making a wrong move. Like, for instance, these Nigerian love affairs that go on the internet. I've investigated a few of them and brought it to the attention of the victims. And they were actually mad because they enjoyed the relationship even if it wasn't going anywhere.
Oh, wow.
So you got that genre of woman, It's not always bipolar or, ADHD, or it's not always a mental disorder. You got women who are needy. And when you're needy like that, you do overlook. I always say to God, show me. And then I like to show men my bad side because men automatically, I'm the money lady, so they automatically assume, she's got it like that. I don't have to worry about anything or protect her, for instance. And I noticed that if I pretend like I don't have money, it's a different attitude. Like if I don't dress appropriately, if my nails aren't done, if my hair's not done, all these things that we tend to use are facades. And then we get to the marriage relationship or the in-depth relationship and they see you in the morning when those things aren't done. We need to be more real. Too many eyelashes, too many, nail salon appointments. We're going overboard for an outer person that we're not inwardly. What do you think?
I think that's definitely that's also definitely an interesting topic because we kind of touched on that last night. One woman, she said her husband had never seen her natural hair. He always saw her, embellished.
Right.
And I just couldn't understand that. So I do see your point in that.
There's so many men who tell me they've never touched their woman's hair. Like I let men brush my hair because in brushing the hair becomes a bond. But a lot of women won't let men touch their scalp. You know, and and a lot of men talk about it amongst themselves, and some of them don't say anything because there's nothing to say. But ultimately, you got different ways that we're behaving cosmetically that doesn't necessarily seem to be but so healthy either for real, true intimacy. If you're not living the truth, you know, if you're not allowing full relationships, there's a lot of people, like, you know, that hair gets done, baby, you know, hey, you take a second, you know, second fiddle for that. So, but what Prince was talking about, I thought, you know, that's great when the wife's not around, but what do you say in front of her?
How about that? That's the question. What do you say in front of her?
He used the term henpeck. But maybe the man is happy and he has a good home and he wants to go home to it because he's tired and he knows what he has to do the following day or week. How about that? Home is safe, it's happy, there's good food waiting, his wife is attentive. You know, why not?
There's a mutual respect. That's what I was saying. Like, what about that? But there's a mutual respect there. There's genuine love for each other there. But then again, that's to Dr. Z's point about identifying what's important to one another.
When I'm married, my husband told me the day I met him he was going to marry me, and I thought, oh, he don't know what he's talking about because I lied to him about everything, and he still married me. But we did marriage encounterment, and I wanted to address that. Someone had mentioned earlier, maybe it was the doctor, about having pre-engagement counseling, you know, and marriage encounterment, so you keep that romance sparkling. You know, it's important. You don't just get the person. Now I got him. You know, no, you keep the spice going. And I think that's what Prince is sort of maybe hinting to, that, you know, because I know I made more money than my husband for 5 or 6 years. And it was never who's going to pay the, you know, credit card for this or credit. We just worked together. It was our money. We had our own money. We had our individual accounts. And we wouldn't even think twice about it, you know, just covering it. It's one. And people forget that. We become one when we marry. We're not two people. You know, we're
agreed.
Two people. And you're setting your child up for visitation, you know, split custody, all this other stuff when you're talking and thinking like that. Who's wearing the pants in the house? Come on. This is the 21st century.
Agreed.
So I'll be talking to you, Prince, and it's a good way at the lounge, okay? But I mean, we need to have open dialogue. I mean, he's saying the males get it together and they say this and they say that, but they need a counter voice, because without that counter voice, the logic goes away.
We definitely need to continue this conversation. I see that it's more necessary than I realized. I had, you know, and it's healthy. And you know what? This goes to what I've been saying. We don't know who we are to one another. I say it, and I'm not speaking just about the man and the woman. I'm speaking specifically about the Black man and the Black woman as well. We don't know who we are to each other. We don't know. We've lost our love language.
We are to ourselves sometimes.
Exactly.
We had a dialogue at Center in the Park in poetry and discussion. And we were discussing it, and who, you know, many of us have just begin self-discovery after we've reached 50. Some of us
oh my gosh,
fortunate. You know,
I just had that conversation today about this very same thing.
Yeah, so we were on the same wavelength, our group and your group. But even having a conversation is the action that matters. Because I think men are tired of talking; they want to see action. You know, because all this pretty, like he was talking about the trophy brides, the trophy women. You know, they're all beautiful on the outside, and inside, you know, you want to run away from them after a while, because you can only keep that facade up so long, and you're going to be who you really are anyway. That's why, you know, it's important to take them around family. Don't hide out. You know,
that is so true. I'm sorry, I keep interjecting. I'm looking at the time. I keep forgetting that we had such an abbreviated episode tonight. So I'm terribly sorry that I have to interrupt you. But this is a conversation that we have to bring back, Dr. Z.
Yeah,
I think next
it's
Thursday,
next week.
I was just about to say, I think this is next Thursday.
Tell friends, bring his friends, and everybody. I feel like
no, seriously, family, this is what we're talking
going.
about. Next Thursday. This conversation, we're digging deep into it. And Prince, I mean this. I need you to call back. Karen, you as well. Please call back so we can all talk about this. To be continued next Thursday. Same time. No, same place. We might make this the whole 2 hours. I think we might need it. All right, family. Okay. Before I get kicked out of here, I love you, but God loves you so much more. You hear me? I will see you next week, God willing. All right, right here. Have a great night, everybody. I love you.
To keep him strong, moving in the right direction, living just enough for the city.